mind. So I'll have to skip a few things. So let's just settle into our meditation posture and just check how you're sitting. The feet, the legs, the sit bones, most importantly, really the spine. Just lengthen your spine, check your head and your jaw. And go to the crown of the head and just relax the scalp and then move slowly down through the body, starting with the face, the back of the head, the shoulders and the neck, the throat and the belly and the limbs and your extremities. And take a nice deep breath as you relax and lengthen. And just bring your mind to the place where you're sitting. Bring your mind to where your body is. So try and be as present as possible. So many of us tend to sort of kind of disappear out of our bodies probably more regularly than we would realize. Something stressful happens, something triggers us. We go off to an addiction somewhere, whether it's sugar or playing games or watching something or TikTok. And then my guess is that while you're engaging in these kinds of activities as a means of escape, you're not very present. So try and bring your mind to that point of stillness that is within all of us. Take a nice deep breath and then notice what sounds are in your environment. And try not to go and investigate those sounds with your mind. And then notice what's arising in the mind. And just allow it to arise without judgment or opinion. Just notice what's there. And don't get engaged. You just sit a little bit separately like a scientific observer. And then let's bring to mind all those people of our life. I know our very dear loved ones. These people that we're so incredibly fond of. Some of us are attached. Anyway, regardless of our level of attachment or love, these people are helping us in ways that often we don't even realize. It can be our spouses and our children, our very dear friends. And then we have those people in our life who we just don't like very much. Maybe they didn't even harm you. Maybe they just irritate you. And then there's those strangers. And also always bear in mind that these three groups of people can change place at any time. Also remember, they're equal to you in that they wish to be happy and to avoid suffering. And they have this unbelievable capacity for enlightenment. So again, just feel and think we're going to do this meditation this evening, this purification practice for the benefit of all these people of our life and by extension, all sentient beings. So just remember there is no negativity that cannot be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. So we create negativity with our mind. So we're also going to equally create positivity with our mind. So we purify by applying the four opponent powers. So we start with the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all past lives. And you can think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And this reason to regret is based on the logic of karma. And we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. And so having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. So we don't want that. So logically, it would make sense to pull out these karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this. I regret from the depths of my heart, having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. So we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor, who has the methods we can use to purify. And it's not that we're needing or wanting Buddha to forgive us, as if we've done something wrong and that Buddha has the power to change that. It's not like a higher power. We're using the methods that Vajrasattva has, that we can purify ourselves. So relying upon their methods. And so you imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head to start with, a couple of inches above the crown. And he's also, you can imagine this is your teacher, your Lama, your spiritual mentor, however you see them, manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus. And this lotus, although born out of mud, is untainted by that mud. Just like our enlightened potential, which is born out of our delusions, but yet untainted by them. He has a beautiful, radiant face. His eyes are long and peaceful, and they're shaped like lotus petals. They're full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion, and their being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings. So the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people, somebody you may have harmed recently, and then think of someone who has harmed you. So develop a sense of compassion for them, wishing that they be free from any suffering. And particularly the people who have harmed you, because the harm they've caused you is going to ripen for them as suffering in the future. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. So now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the actual medicine, doing the practice of purification. So we start by purifying the body. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, from a shower, from a waterfall, quite forcefully from his heart. And it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita miboa sutokaya miboa sipokaya miboa anarakta miboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita miboa sutokaya miboa sipokaya miboa Anurakta miboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita miboa sutokaya miboa sipokaya miboa Anurakta miboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita miboa sutokaya miboa sipokaya miboa Anurakta miboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sata a hum pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. So just think how amazing that would be. So next is the purification of speech. And again, Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and forcefully enters your crown, filling your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech. And this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you can just imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech, careless speech, lying, talking badly about others behind their backs, getting other people to agree with you. All of this is purified by the powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita miboa sutokaya miboa sipokaya miboa Anurakta miboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita miboa sutokaya miboa sipokaya miboa Anurakta miboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita miboa sutokaya miboa sipokaya miboa Anurakta miboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita miboa sutokaya miboa sipokaya miboa Anurakta miboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita miboa sutokaya miboa sipokaya miboa Anurakta miboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita miboa sutokaya miboa sipokaya miboa Anurakta miboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita miboa sutokaya miboa sipokaya miboa Anurakta miboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech. So the next is the purification of the mind. And Vajrasattva very compassionately, again, sends powerful beams of laser light, this time from his heart chakra. And this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's just the same as when you walk into a pitch black room and you flick on a switch, that light instantly dispels the darkness. So it's the same here. The moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart touches your heart, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all your attachment and depression and anger and bitterness and grudges and jealousy and resentment, all of this is instantly dispelled with this light and this mantra. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Savasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasatame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Savasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasatame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Savasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasatame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Savasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasatame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Savasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasatame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Savasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasatame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Savasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasatame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahompe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, this is what's the source of all of our own suffering, the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech. Imagine they're totally purified, and think now there's no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So now imagine Vajrasattva is purifying the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. So imagine Vajrasattva sends light and nectar, filling you completely. And if you wish, as we're reciting, you can just imagine for a couple of mantras each, the visualizations of the body, speech, and mind we've just done, or just imagine light and nectar, and filling you completely and eradicating even the subtlest imprint of negative energy from your mind. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Savasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasatame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Savasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasatame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anurakta me bhava savasiti me biyatsa sava kama sita me sitam shriyam karuhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sava tata gata vajra me mutta vajra bhava mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dita me bhava sutokaya me bhava supokaya me bhava Anurakta me bhava savasiti me biyatsa sava kama sita me sitam shriyam karuhum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya satra aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Dita me bhava sutokaya me bhava supokaya me bhava. Anurakta me bhava savasiti me piyatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam karuhum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya satra aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dita me bhava sutokaya me bhava supokaya me bhava Anurakta me bhava savasiti me piyatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam karuhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dita me bhava sutokaya me bhava supokaya me bhava Anurakta me bhava savasiti me piyatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam karuhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata aham pe. So now feel that you're completely purified and one atom negativity left in your mind stream. So you just imagine that even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. So now we come to the power resolve, and the fourth step in the purification process, and it's such a crucial one because we have these habits. We are human and we do things over and over again, often without thinking. So in order to sort of get on top of these habits, we have to start by making a decision and hone in on those things that are harmful to us and others, and really bring them into your focus and become aware of them. So then eventually you'll stop doing it. So start humbly and small, something that's easy, not something that will trigger you too much. Some habit. And think, I'm going to get on top of this. I'm going to be aware of this thing or refrain from this thing for 5 minutes or 30 seconds. While I'm asleep, I won't gossip about anyone. And then you keep that vow to yourself. You wake up in the morning, you haven't. So this determination to not do again is what gives us the strength to change. And Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think, my Guru's body, speech and mind, and Vajrasattva's body, speech and mind, and my own body, speech and mind are the same thing. So this little bit on emptiness here. In emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative action. There is no negative karma, there is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. So in this way, we can look at all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this purification to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. For His Holiness, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And for Lama Rinpoche, O tup chu chang jin jam gone Galloway, Tenzin kyang pelway, kunzo dog porze, chok sum kurwe leg mon to drub, dog sok dulje, gong du jab ten chok. Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us in intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request, O Lama, please live long. Because you share a beloved teacher leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path. You are the unequal guide. Please live a long and stable life. Okay, everybody. Thank you so very much. Lots of love, sweet dreams. Thank you for coming. Thank you for hosting, Michael, and backup Shayla. And lots of and sweet dreams, everybody. I'm quite tired today, it seems so. All right, I'm going to go to bed shortly and see you guys tomorrow night. Okay, lots of love, everybody. Sweet dreams. Okay, bye-bye.